Memorial Day, a very special day to remember those who paid the ultimate price and the ultimate sacrifice so that you and I may be free. And every Memorial Day, General John Borling, after a career of service that included 30-plus years in the military and 6.5 years in the Hanoi Hilton as a prisoner of war, he does it again. And he'll do it again this year, as he will bring you the Memorial Day services right on Michigan Avenue in downtown Chicago. Very proud to call him a friend and a true American hero. Ladies and gentlemen, my friend, General John Borling. Good morning, sir.
Hi, General.
Hey, good morning, Steve. I delight in the fact that you are going to be the guy who helps kick off that ceremony at the Logan statue at 11 o'clock on Monday the 27th. So thank you for your continuing support of so many worthy efforts and causes around the greater Chicago area, and in fact overseas.
Well, it's
people on trips and stuff, trying to make America from a personal standpoint great for everyone.
Well, it's nice of you to say, but as a patriot, there's only so much that I can do, and that's my little give back. Let's start with the basics, though, for Memorial Day. People mean well, General, as you know, but they'll say something like, Happy Memorial Day. It's not the response.
No, I think it's. I think you want a meaningful Memorial Day. You want to commemorate the day. You want to just take a moment off and pause on the contributions of frankly, our war dead. This is a little self-serving, but if people want to get something that hopefully would touch their hearts and minds in the privacy of their own home, they can access a video on YouTube or on Vimeo or any number of the streaming sites. The Defense Information Service has it as well. It's called We Are Americans. I know you've seen it.
It's tremendous.
We are Americans, and then it's Dash Air Force, or if that doesn't bring it up, you say Dash John Borling. But it's an Air Force sponsored thing, and I had a hand in putting together this thing called We Are Americans. So it's got about 15 million views. So it's something Memorial Day specific. It's evergreen, so it applies through the years.
And the thing is, if you get to 20 million views, they're going to make you an honorary Kardashian.
Oh yeah, that would be great. Well, I don't have the back end for that.
No, you do not.
You mean the long hair? That's what you're talking about.
That's
the long
exactly
hair.
what I'm talking about.
That's right.
My boyish figure is that. Well, it's declining, as you know. But on a slightly different level, I would like to invite everybody out to the Logan statue, Major General John A. Logan's equestrian statue there at 900 South Michigan. The ceremony starts at 11, as I mentioned. It lasts an hour, and then we'll do a picnic in the park, and that's hosted, so everybody can commune one with another after we go through the ceremony, and we'll have some of the leading citizens of Chicago there, as well as regular folks who have been coming out for years. You better bring an umbrella this year, long range forecast.
No.
It's going to rain, yeah.
I can't imagine Mother Nature would dare rain on your opportunity to have that service again that you've hosted so well through all these years. Jane?
General.
Yeah, hi, Jane. Yeah.
Hi. No, go ahead. You can finish your thought.
I'm sorry, say again.
Okay, so I love this We Are Americans Dash Air Force. Again, find that on YouTube. We all need to see it. You know, you talked about what we can do to just take a moment and remember those who served. We all have our cookouts and our families, but talk about the kids, because sometimes the kids go, it's just another day off, or summer is here, and we can watch We Are Americans. We can have the kids watch it. But what is one practice you would do with the kids, or maybe something you could say to them so they really grasp the idea of what Memorial Day is?
I think I would go back to the first Memorial Day, which was 1868. Then the 1868-69 timeframe, Grant became president in those days, as you recall.
Mm-hmm.
And John Logan is the guy who Major General Logan created Memorial Day in Illinois. And the thing that strikes me in a contemporary sense about over the 100-plus year period is that on those first Memorial Days after the catastrophe of the Civil War on both sides, like so many wars, they had this Memorial Day service at Arlington and strew flowers on the Union graves, but also on Confederate graves.
Right.
As a sign of the necessary beginning of the coming together. And then that has continued in villages and towns, large and small, across America. So I think the message is that, America, we're all in this together. We are Americans, and this business that tries to divide us or by whatever scheme they come up with needs to be resisted.
Right.
We are all in this great experiment together, and it takes all of us pulling on the oars. I'm going to do a thing next week in my Sunday column, which is not really military based, but because of the military aspects of it, there's a National Maritime Day that's part of the May collection of military related holidays, and it was the philosopher Jean-Paul Sartre who commented that the only guy who's rocking the boat is the guy who's not pulling on the oars. And
I love that.
I think we all need to pull on the oars.
I love that.
That's right.
I love that. This democracy is worth saving. Don't ever think it's guaranteed to be here. Fight for it, and then have your respectable fights about what you believe versus what somebody else might. That's what we need to get back to.
Well, we're a fractious people. I mean, because what we do is we prize our own individual freedoms above everything else. But remember, you can lose it in a generation. You can lose your comfort, your freedom, the economy that's been built. I mean, we have to remember. It's kind of like the fundamentals in football. You were talking football earlier about the Bears and the tickets. It's about the fundamental. You got to blocking and tackling. And we just gotta, and it comes in many forms, whether it's pulling on an oar or just my favorite, Steve, is to say keep marching. But let's go back. Can we go back just a minute more to Memorial Day?
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
11 o'clock.
Yep.
It's free. I want people to know that. The dress can be casual, smart casual. Some people will be a little more dressed up. And we're going to have the speakers coming in, a West Point guy. From South Carolina. We've got the head of the Wheaton Center for Faith, Politics, and the Economy, Dave Iglesias, also a White House fellow, who will be talking about why we gather.
Okay.
Expect the Cook County President, Tony Preckwinkle, to offer some comments, and the mayor as well. But the keynoter, again, is a guy from West Point, Mark Wyman, who is a great American. So it's going to be, and the Chicago Police Department is going to support with the Color Guard and the Honor Guard with rifle salute. That's always a great moment. And, it is, because we celebrate the first responders who have fallen as well. The people get their, we just came off Armed Forces Day, which celebrates all those who serve in the active and the reserve. But Memorial Day, and the message is a tough one. The message is we honor those who died in service to their country. It's General John Borling, and I'm going to drag you back in here to discuss the greater state of affairs in a different way, in a different time. But I thought Jane brought up an interesting point. Maybe leave us with this, and that is this discussion with younger folks about not just what Memorial Day means, but what service to country means, because it's so center to you. One of the great things and one of the frustrating things about dealing with veterans, about dealing with heroes, is you're the last folks to go, hey, you wouldn't believe what I did. Want to hear a great story? Right. But those great stories really matter. What do you say to fellow vets about sharing their story with family members and youngsters? Oh, it's a very private thing, Steve, especially if it relates to combat duty.
Understandable, but there's got to be a way to impart the message.
I think it, number one, it takes a lot of time, if ever. I mean, in my own case, although we were honored so much when we came back from Vietnam as the returned POWs, so that you had to make some comment, but then not wanting to be, quote, a professional POW for all those years, you wanted to get back in the military and fly jets and command and staff and serve all over the world. As you know, Myrna and I moved every year and a half for 30 years.
Sure.
And had a wonderful run, as I say, from Minot, North Dakota, where 52 degrees keeps out the riffraff, and 52 degrees below zero. And in California, where both our daughters were born, one before the war, one after the war. Lots of time, 10 years in Europe, so we have too much time in Washington.
Right.
I think we ought to ration Washington time for civilians and military. I mean, you only get to stay 2 years or 3 years, and then you got to move out.
Well, that's a great idea. That's a great idea. Term limits on having to be there.
Yeah. Preferably to the Midwest, or someplace.
Sure.
Someplace where people still do victory gardens, that kind of stuff. So anyway, those are all.
Well, how about we leave it at this then? How about if you are a veteran, with all due respect to the modesty that you've earned, if you can find a way to share a story, your story, or the story of patriotism and why it mattered to you with younger folks, please do. And if you can't do that, I totally understand. I wouldn't speak for a veteran ever. I just would love to see the stories pass forward, because we need that to happen. And we thank you, General John Borling, always. And whether you like it or not, I'm going to tell people how they can get the 3rd degree, because I know you won't if I don't.
Thank you, General.
Thank you, sir. I'll see you next Monday.
All right. Sounds great, Steve. Thanks.
All
Bye-bye.
the best. That's General John Borling. 6.5 years in a POW camp.
I can't believe it. He's just great. I could sit and listen to him all day.
He's the best.
I want to hear all the stories.
And the taps on the walls that he developed as a way of communicating turned into a book of poetry that he memorized.
Yeah.
Because he didn't have a pen.
No.
And wrote it when he came out.
Thank you for listening to Live from My Office, a service of Monkey Run Productions. All rights reserved. The podcast is hosted by Steve Cochran, and it's mixed, edited, and produced by me, Ross Cochran. Steve is available for corporate speaking gigs. He would love to MC your event, and occasionally, he's funny. Thank you for listening. Head to cochranshow.com for more.